All right, we have a little bit of a problem. Today is the 1st of the month. Today, Optic Owns October was supposed to begin, but for some reason, when I changed my phone, I forgot to cancel my Google Authenticator, so I can't log into the Optic Nation account to upload this thing. On top of that, I have a meeting downtown in exactly 1 hour, so I need to get down there as fast as possible. I gotta do that. And top it off, I can't find a bag to put my stuff in. What the is going on? All right, so right now we are in the middle of collecting a whole bunch of stuff that we want to bring to the meeting. It's just a bunch of like fishing stuff and a Mophie. And the reason that we're doing this is because I'm going to meet with a manufacturer who can probably manufacture this stuff branded with either Optic Gaming or Basher stuff. So it's a very important meeting, and I couldn't find a bag to put it in. That's why I was freaking out a little bit. But now that I have everything, I don't think that there's anything else that I need to grab from here as I look around. Plastic jigs, I think we're good. All right.
It was at this moment I realized that I can no longer go on with the plan for the day. I cannot go to the city because right here, if you guys remember watching on the Optic Owns October video, 2 beeps go off towards the end and I stare into the dashboard. It is because the notification for RRC was saying that the rear right tire was low. Right here I spot the biggest nail ever and pretty much know that my plans are effed for the day. So the important meetings that I had in the city can no longer be had. Now I can only make it back home and see if I can make it to the dealership. FML.
All right, so a bit of a problem, as you guys saw. So now that I can't go downtown for my meetings, 2 very important meetings that we needed to go to, I'm down here in my basement, and I'll give you guys a tour of what's been going on. So last night, the sub pump failed. That thing. I don't know if you guys, if you're from Europe or whatever, there's, I guess, pipes around the house that all lead into like that, and then it gets thrown back into the sewage system or whatever. But let me give you a tour of what's been going on in the basement. So this little closet is done. That's this is where the amazing wire management cable system is happening. This is all gonna get redone to have a better network. That's the central vac system. As you turn, you gotta turn into the living room. Let me give you a better tour. All right, so that there is gonna be the living room. I'm gonna have a couch here. I still haven't decided on what I want to do because my problem is this. I want this whole thing to be like my office, right? So you have, let me go this way. So you have like this room where I plan on having like TVs on this wall, couches on this side. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. And then here, I was planning on putting where those bags are, it's gonna be my desk. That's the plan as of right now. I don't know yet. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I do wanna have an area, and maybe it'll be in this little corner that I wanna do where I can have something set up to where I have like an overlight that looks down onto a desk where I will have like my markers and my stuff, because I wanna draw stuff. I wanna create stuff, record myself doing it and then uploading it for you guys. But that's sub pump 1, flat tire 2. This morning I was locked out of YouTube for the longest, and I couldn't upload a new video for Optic Owns October, which is a series that we're doing on the Optic Nation channel. It's a bit of a problem. So that's 3 things, right? And they say that bad things happen in 3s. Well, those are the 3 things that happened to me badly. So I'm hoping that my day gets better. Good news. All right, so I'm not gonna jinx anything. I'm just gonna see how the day goes. Look at that. Cameras, cables, some packing stuff for travel, backpack, sweaters, everything. And if you saw my desk right now, you'd be impressed at how messy it has gotten in the little to maybe week and a half that since I cleaned it. Now, today was one of those days that the world throws at you where you're just like, holy shit, can something else please not happen to make this any worse? Basement flooded, got a flat, got locked out of the Optic Nation channel, so I couldn't upload a thing that I was needing to do this, and I thought to myself, I'm like, why didn't you prepare a little bit better? Why didn't you try to log in yesterday so you can recover your email somehow, contact someone, do something? Luckily, I was logged in on my laptop, which I haven't used since I last traveled. So it was out of battery. I had to plug it in, and I had to figure out whether or not I was in there. Luckily, I was. So I changed everything. I changed my phone, which is why I didn't have access to the Google Authenticator thing. It was a mess, all right, and I was like nervous because I needed to upload the video today. I stayed up late yesterday to edit the video after a long day of recording of a taco challenge. It was one of those days where it was just like, man, just like things just kept on piling up. We got a letter at the house saying that the people that we pay rent to weren't paying their association, so they're being. It's this fucking craziness. I could not write this and put it into a movie if I could. I don't know what I'm saying. See, this is one of those days where it's just mentally I'm checked out, right? I was supposed to go down to the city for a very, very important meeting. I couldn't because of the car, and I missed it. And it wasn't a big deal because I rescheduled and everything's fine, right? Two things. I was meeting with as I mentioned earlier, a meeting with a manufacturer who's going to help me create more products to sell with bashers. Which is good because I really want I really want that thing to succeed, because I just want everything that I'm passionate about to be something that I work towards, something that I'm working in. I take it to heart that quote that says, if you choose a job you love, you will never have to work a day in your life. I take that so dear to my heart, because I worked for so many years at a job that I didn't want to. And I know that a lot of you are in that same position. I know that I talk about this all the time, but I just want to remind you guys that you just take one step towards it. Take one step towards it, little by little. Don't quit. Don't jeopardize anything, but just work towards it. Just one step. I'll say that's all I'll say. I'm not gonna sit here and try to be a poster with a scenery and a quote. You know, I'm not here to inspire anyone. But I am here to tell you about my thoughts. All right, so that was important. The other part of the meeting was to talk about this new thing that I've been working on for the past couple of months. It's pretty big. We have it's pretty big because of the opportunity that it presents for myself, for Optic, for Call of Duty, right? I don't want to make this video because I'm not asking for help. I'm not talking about this specific thing because I don't need anybody to come in and try to put their hands in and try to help something that us, the Call of Duty, have built together, right? And I sometimes don't feel like I should be saying we as Call of Duty, because we're not Call of Duty, and we're not a part of Activision, and we're not. Call of Duty was just a platform that helped us kind of get out there in a sense. Now, I'm the biggest fan of Call of Duty there is, right? I've been playing this since Call of Duty 2. It literally sort of changed my life because it put me in a position to talk to you guys about whatever it is that I want to talk. And when I first started this, I set out to be an entertainer. I set out to be a YouTuber before the term YouTuber was even a thing. And all of a sudden, this sort of responsibility fell onto my lap, where I had to make sure that the players that were coming under me, as back in the day, it was just a team. It wasn't like an organization. It was just a pickup team. But there was opportunities floating around the air, visions that were floating around the air. And I figured, I'm the oldest guy here. None of these guys, not my little brother or Corrosive or Spark or anybody on the team that we had was capable enough to take on this responsibility where you had to take care of the whole team. I've always been an older brother, right? My sister's a year younger than me, so since the time I was 1 year old till today, I've always known how to be a big brother, and that's always been my approach, right? To taking care of the people that are a part of my team because they're younger and maybe not as experienced or whatever. And luckily we've been able to do a very, very good job at kind of sort of molding these players into personalities and then businessmen in a sense. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that fact. But this is a responsibility that I didn't choose, right? Like being a CEO of an organization or being the head of an organization was not something that I wanted. It fell in my lap, and I had to take the ball and run with it, right? And as such, it's put me in a position to where sometimes I had to, sacrifice what I wanted to do in order to help the overall goal. And then we became like one of the staples in competitive Call of Duty. So then that was another thing that fell on our lap, that we had to make sure that all of the decisions that we made, from sponsorships to certain, you know, deals or whatever that came into the space, that had to be right for the betterment of the entire space, right? Because if we take a shitty deal, then that means that everybody that's below us or trying to like reach that plateau are going to get an even shittier deal, right? So we couldn't take just, you know, we couldn't go for the arm's reach, right? We had to literally wait and be patient to make sure that we took deals that were not only going to be fair to us, but we're going to set a market price to what was going to help everybody else. And if I'm getting too far ahead for all of you and don't understand what I'm saying, tough cookies. Replay it. So the reason for the meeting and the reason of this new thing that we're working on is because I feel as though, and this goes back, before I digress, this goes back to people. I'm not asking for help. I'm not saying that people should be more involved. We can do it on our own, right? We've always been very good of doing it on our own. You know what I'm saying? Like League of Legends has had developer support from the beginnings. Counter-Strike, like they all had the support, but we, and this is something that you all should be proud of, all of us should be proud of this, all of us were able to create something in competitive Call of Duty without any developer support up until Black Ops 2, right? And even after Black Ops 2, it kind of fell off, right? Like we were given this taste by David Vonderhaar, who fed us and said, here's a taste of the good life. This is what it could be like if we work towards it. And then we dealt with Call of Duty Ghosts, which I don't want to talk shit about developers, but that's, you know, it was that, right? And then we had Advanced Warfare, which kind of got it, right? And created esports mode, and it was pretty good. But still, it was a work in progress, and it's not up to and it's not up to them, and it's not up to anybody else. It's up to us to continue to do what we do, right? So be proud of that. Be proud that we were able to do this without the developer support, but because now that we have it, guys, just think and know that the sky is the limit. This is our year to work together with the developers, to work together with the leagues, to work together with the teams, and work with each other to make something happen. What a rant, right? So again, before I digress, we're not asking for help, right? So what I started to do is I approached a couple of marketing agencies in Chicago to see if there was any way that we can work together so we can bring some non-endemic brands. If you don't know what non-endemic is, then you should stop watching right now. So to bring some non-endemic brands into the space, and not is it only good for us, but it also is good for Call of Duty because it legitimizes it that much more. Coca-Cola, right? League of Legends, and you have all these PC companies that are just like all about that stuff. But non-endemic brands like Coca-Cola, yeah, like yes, we were able to work with Red Bull. That's awesome. But there's so many more that can be involved, and if we only land one big company that steps into the space, it will show the rest that yes, even though we are a very small esports scene as in comparison to the big ones, I think that it will legitimize it a little bit, and it will open up people's eyes. You know, the fact that what we play on shouldn't determine our success, right? People, PC Master Race and all this stuff, like I respect it, fine. You know, PCs are awesome. I'd love to be involved in that sector, but I can't, in my right mind, just go out and try to expand into something where there's so much work to be done, right? Just like when I was building Optic and taking care of the players, I could have easily just taken deals for myself and forgot, but I was building something. I wanted to build Optic, right? It wasn't a Hector show, it was the Optic show. And then when Optic took over this sort of big brother thing with Call of Duty, we can't just abandon it and expand into something else. There's so much work to be done, and now that we're right there with Black Ops 3 and the possibilities of what Vonderhaar and Treyarch and all those guys have done for esports, like right now is the time for me to double down and more than ever refocus all of our efforts to try to make this turn into something big. Because guys, I believe wholeheartedly that Call of Duty can and will be as big as all the other esports if we only continue to do the right things. And whether or not we have outside help, which we don't need, we're gonna do it on our own, right? There was companies acquiring esports teams that you know, there were all, you know, PC teams, which is fine. You know, there's announcements about, you know, big companies working with big networks to create leagues and stuff. That's fine, okay? Like that encourages me to work harder to try to make this happen, not only for Optic, but for Call of Duty as a whole, because I know it deep down in my heart that if we continue to stay the course, if we continue to try, at least freaking try, we can make something happen. I freaking know it. And I've talked long enough, and I apologize every single time I get into these rants, but if this is not what YouTube is for, then I don't know what it's for. If you guys have any thoughts on the matter, or if you guys have any opinions, please put them down there in the description. God, I always say that. Put them down in the comment section. Description is for, I don't know. Descriptions, do they even do anything besides, you know, other shit? I don't know. Anyway, it was one of those exhausting days that I just needed to vent to someone, and instead of venting to Jude and Olivia, who are out there, I decided to do it with you guys, who I have a very, very good relationship with, I think. Stay the course. Try to refocus. Let's do this. You guys ready? Because I sure as fuck am.
It's a clean bathroom.
They're gonna know I'm shitting though.
That's so good.
Candy.
All right, dude. That's how we just got done with a goal. We'll wait.
No, not in there. Not in there.
All right, so we just got done recording the video that you guys are gonna see on my channel. It's a taco challenge. I hope that you guys are enjoying this first episode of OVO. Can we call it OVO? You think Drake will come after us if we say Optic Vlogs October?